Hello, everyone. This is Climate Lounge, a vibe shift for your day. And today we are here with the amazing group, Talk to Me About Water, as well as our special guest star and co host, Keanu Reeves. Thank you so much for being here. It's really great to see you.
No
Um,
problem.
amazing. Amazing. So yeah, I have like a cute little ticker here that this is all the members of Talk to Me About Water. But maybe each of you would like to introduce yourselves. Just say a couple words and then maybe um something about Talk to Me About Water, and then also something about AI, because today our theme is kind of probing some of these generative AI tools that we love and use for lots of mischief making, but also fun research as well. So who would like to start?
I can start.
Okay.
Hi, everyone. My name is Noor Batayne, and I am actually joining you right now from my ancestral homeland, today known as Jordan. Um, I'll be back in New York next week, but it feels cool to be joining from here because we're all going to technically be here in the spring together. So that's really exciting. But I am the co founder of One of Many Studio. We create experiences to inspire and empower people to connect with what it means to be a future ancestor. And a lot of my work is at the intersection of futures thinking, immersive storytelling, and social change. And I share that because the connection for me to AI is that AI is and will continue to be a big force of change in our futures. And so the way that it is shaping our relationship to technology in this moment is very important. And I'm very excited to be having this conversation with you all today.
Thank you so much for being here, Nora. Who would like to go next?
I can go next. Hello, everyone. I'm Martha Bearskin. I am a computer scientist. I work for the federal government. I work for the United States Geological Survey, although I'm here today as just Martha Bearskin, who's a Indigenous technologist. I work a lot with water data. I work into water data publication, and I've recently joined this Talk to Me About Water group to do really fun, cool stuff with art and water data. And let's see about AI. I'm excited and intrigued to play with more AI because I've steered away. Sometimes I'm kind of scared, like the AI is going to come get us. I don't know, but it's time to start interacting with the AI. I think it's time.
Amazing.
Okay, I guess it's me. Hi, everyone. I'm Devin Ronneberg. I am an artist and an engineer and a musician, and I'm sure I'm missing some other things, but I build airplanes. But yeah, I'm here to talk about water, obviously, and hopefully make some cool stuff and inspire some cool dialogue around water, the problems we're having with it, and how we can maybe shift towards some better futures. AI. Well, I love playing with AI. I mean, it's super scary and super powerful. And for that reason, I think that it makes a lot of sense to attempt to understand how it works so that when it comes time, we can, shift towards um, making things better when possible, and use its power to do cool and good stuff for the planet and humanity. So, any chance I get, I try to play around with the tools that I can get my hands on. So, yeah, this being one of them.
That's amazing. And thank you. And, there may be people listening to this in the future who are on a podcast who don't know that Devin has been switching between his face and a borrowed,
a borrowed face.
Borrowed face. Very similar looking, but yet also shares the face of Keanu Reeves. So we like you both ways. So thank you for bringing your
Hawaiian
AI.
brother.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you for bringing his being into us through AI. So how is that generated? Is that
Yeah, I got some funky special softwares going on and my beefy graphics card, and so yeah, it's tracking my face and then analyzing the position of my face to sort of get an expression, and then it's like basically making reference to another generative matrix that generates face from a data set that it's like trained on before. So as long as you have the model for the face and you've trained it for long enough, you can have the computer analyze the position of your face and then overlay that onto it. So it's a deep fake, but it's a live deep fake instead of a non-real-time one.
That's
So,
amazing. Well,
yeah.
thanks for explaining it to us. It's incredibly fun.
Sure.
And thanks for bringing me in.
Yeah, of course. I mean, yeah, any chance I can, I'm playing with this. Every stream I get on now, I'm like, why not?
I want to be Keanu Reeves for every work meeting now.
That's
I
kind of
know.
liberating, not having to use my own face. I can just like be wacky and not feel like responsible for it. Like,
I love it.
you can't see what my face is really doing. You know what I mean?
Well,
Probably
it's like we used to have to like blur our faces if we wanted to go on something that like, or in those TV shows from the 90s, they'd always have like the blurred face and the blurred like voice of like some witness or something that they're showing. But now we could just be like Dolly Parton.
Yeah.
And the fact that though, can we like deep fake each other? Could you be me?
Yeah. I mean, it would take a little bit of effort. We'd have to like take some videos and make sure we get all the right angles and get the right lighting and all that, and then take the time to like train the model up. But yeah, the thing about all these data sets, especially with the celebrities, is that they're all pulled mostly from like really well lit interviews where whoever the celebrity is like, making faces that only look beautiful, right? So like no matter what I do, I can't really look that dumb because I can only look as good as Keanu Reeves looked for as many interviews as they pulled from. But my face, like I'm doing like weird shit like this, but still he looks like photogenic and perfect no matter what.
See, this is why I need a deep fake of my own face.
Yeah.
Always feel like my perfect face with.
Yeah. We should all just like do our makeup perfectly so that our skin is the perfect tone and the lighting is always perfect, and then deep fake ourselves all the time.
Yeah.
I've been obsessed with those new like SaaS services that make deep fakes of like employees of yours so they can like pitch products and make product videos. I've been following all of them, and I really wanted to make myself but in their platform so that it could like say all the things and say it in the 5 different languages and then do all the like, I don't know, it's kind of amazing.
Yeah, this software can now do it off of a single image too. Obviously it's like not nearly as good, but I could just like pull an image of somebody in and just immediately start manipulating it. So the future is crazy, guys.
I'm trying to see if I can pull one of them up. The single image one is pretty wild. I think I used this. Well, yeah, there's lots of them, but I used a couple of them the other day. I was like testing them out, and yeah, they're weird. Let me see if I can find one. Anyways, Eamon should introduce himself while I look for this video. I made a test one, so here you go, Eamon. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Hello, I'm Eamon.
Hey, Eamon.
What up?
I'm
supposed to buy her some time. I'm a Sagittarius. I'm really into outdoor cooking, long walks on the beach. I don't actually like long walks on the beach. I'd rather swim, but I don't know. We hung out on the beach together in Miami. That was fun. You were missed, Keanu.
Yeah, I felt it.
You know what I'm thinking about right now is the movie Face Off. Has anyone seen that?
No, but it sounds really appropriate.
I haven't.
So
it's disturbing.
It's sort of disturbing. It's like disturbing partially because it's so like blockbuster video, like it's just so that era.
Yeah.
But it's Nicolas Cage and John Travolta are like criminals or something. One of them's a criminal, like in the future when there has to be like super prisons with like metal shoes that you wear. It's weird. And then they have to switch faces for some reason. It doesn't really make sense, but that's like
yeah,
like
well,
surgically
now it's possible. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, how many stories if there was text messaging would just not, like Romeo and Juliet with text messaging, just would not be a very interesting story.
No, don't
and Face Off with this technology would be like also not that interesting of a story.
Yeah.
I have
Hey, man,
to.
you look good in that window. Romeo and Juliet.
Oh yeah.
Text.
I have to share this since we went to deepfakes. One of um, the first projects I worked on with you, Amelia, together was the 2032 alternate reality game that took place in the year 2032, where an Indigenous woman was running for president, and we staged a deepfake leak of a speech that she did. And we tried to, at the time, nobody really was talking about deepfakes. This was in 2020. And even deepfake was not a term, like we had to define deepfake at the time, so that people that were playing the game could understand what we were talking about. So it's interesting to see only almost 3 years later, there's much more knowledge about deepfakes and the implications that they may have, especially in politics.
Yeah. No, it's terrifying, honestly.
Don't believe anything you read on the internet now. Anything.
Don't believe anything you see, you know?
Exactly.
That's the
Keanu's
thing.
not really here with us, guys.
Yeah. Neither is Jim Carrey. Hey.
Wow.
Yeah, this one is
Well, this one's great.
Smoking.
yeah. I know. Our connection to reality is getting more fragile by the day. So, you know, enjoy it while it lasts.
This semester, I'm teaching a class called Writing for Interactive Media. And I feel like I don't know what the hell we're doing this semester because, like, a lot of the technological advancements that have received a lot of press recently, I'm kind of skeptical about. Like, blockchain. Okay. Yeah, sure. You know, there's just like a lot of tech things that are supposed to be like very, very impressive. And I'm like, we'll see. But this most recent wave of AI stuff has me shook. Like,
Yeah.
truly shook.
Yeah.
So,
I mean,
I'm
we
a
all
little-
thought AI was coming for our jobs, but first it's coming for our identity. You know,
First,
like,
it's coming for our souls.
literally. Like, yeah, automation. Robotics is like a long way to go before we got to be like truly worried about it. But the AI stuff is moving so fast. Like nobody thought it was going to outpace the robotics, but it is doing it like handily right now. So, yeah.
And the other thing is, it's also becoming clear that like it doesn't need to truly be intelligent. It just needs to pass a Turing test, and it's
Which is
easy
not
to do
hard.
because our attention is so like fractured. Anyways, you don't really. It's not that high of a bar to clear anymore.
No.
So, like, is it metaphysically like is artificial general intelligence truly gonna like, you know, metaphysically have an autonomous mind? Doesn't really matter actually because it's going to be good enough for most people most of the time.
Yeah, nobody's like scrolling Instagram like thinking critically, you know what I mean? Or like
right.
We're just like, oh yeah. So it doesn't take much to slip past, you know.
So what are you doing, Amelia?
I couldn't find it. I made a test after a single image, and it was like so weird looking. I thought I would share it, but I can't find it. I don't know. It took me like a day to generate it, so I don't know. But I thought I could show at least. Let's see here. I'll show a tab. This is at least one of the ones that
Hey,
I've looked at.
I'm Anna, and here's a quick Synthesia product demo. Start by selecting an AI avatar.
Like me.
Oh, this is
Or
so
me.
dystopian. Oh god.
Or me.
Then type in text in over 65 languages.
Choose a narration style or local accent.
When you're ready, add your text, shapes, and other design elements. Choose a font or upload your own. You can also upload other brand assets, such as your logo.
But this is
which
why I
you will
was
find
like, I
here
want one of
when you
myself.
Yeah,
everything
it would be
else.
convenient.
Like I was like, it was so much less useful
If you
for me
need,
to have
you
it,
can
like,
also
as
add a
someone
sound.
else, but yeah, that's one of the ones. So yeah, I don't know. But the other one was just from a still image, which was much more uncanny, right? It was much more like made my face look really weird and
Puppety.
disturbing
Yeah.
and like you know, it was like, so I wanted to show that one because that was more but I cannot find it exactly. I'll find it eventually probably. But yeah, that one, yeah, they're So just to show people what we're talking about, some of these AI avatars. That one, they also did a custom one of a person that I saw, which looked, it looks like the ones that are fully AI look a little better. And then once it starts kind of blending with someone's scans, looks a little weirder. But at the same time, I don't think if that video was little on a slide deck, I would notice if it was an AI. I don't think I would.
Probably not. Yeah.
No. So another thing that we are thinking of.
Levin, I can't take you seriously.
Sorry. There. I'll shake it off.
Have some bird sounds.
I can't take me seriously either.
Let's see. Maybe would you like to do some Midjourney? Anise is here. Anise, feel free to join the stream if you'd like.
Hop on in. The water's warm.
Hop on in if you got the email. Should have the stream link. She's in the Midjourney. So maybe if you want, we can share the Oops. I can share the Discord. So if anyone would like, we have Midjourney here on our on our Discord. Would anyone like to make a prompt in case I did this recently with go for it.
It's not great. I mean, it's the one right there.
Oh yeah. Oh, awesome. A beautiful world in the clouds, floating futuristic buildings, water park, water slides, connecting all of the buildings, award-winning photography, beautiful lighting.
I mean, for a crappy prompt, it gave us some pretty cool stuff.
Oh yeah, totally. I love all these water slides.
It's not so dark considering last week Amelia and I were playing with water prompts and everything was so dark.
Yeah.
All the water prompts.
Dark?
Yeah, let's see. These were this was the first one we did. And it was just talk to me about water. That's it. No other prompt, just talk to me about water.
Heads in jars.
I don't know. A very bug-eyed manatee.
Yeah. It's like a seal, manatee, dolphin. Dugong.
Yeah. In a jar.
Why is she bleeding?
I think I see a lot of red pill, blue pill ones. Like, I don't know if you've noticed that with Midjourney, but it does it constantly where it's like red and blue. And I think of them as like red pill, blue pill ones. But, and everything's in a glass except everything kind of is containing into a glass. So that's like, Samuel Beckett. Yeah, it's these are. Yeah, this was another one, Water is Life, that Noor did. And again, it's like, I don't even want to think about that one. That monster, it's like there's like a monster face in that water. Do you see it? You don't want to see it, man. Cursed image. And then this girl, it's the only one, like the one to the left, I guess, is kind of pretty-ish, but it's pretty ominous too. I don't know. Water is Life doesn't seem very, I don't know.
Really wants to put water in things.
Noor said that it was snowing in Petra at our last meeting, so I did snowing in Petra, and this is what it came up with.
Wow, that is so cool. It wasn't snowing that much, so this is really cool. I don't think it's ever snowed this much in Petra before, so this is cool. I wonder if we use word like prompts referring more to bodies of water, like a river or an ocean or a sea, whether it'll still give us cups, and whether it'll still be dark. I don't know what the darkness is about.
I don't know either. Anyone have a prompt with a river? Could maybe say something about the River Jordan? I don't
know. Okay. Wow. I'm actually looking at a picture of the River Jordan. I have to show you now. It's one of the oldest photographs ever of the River Jordan. You can't really see it. This is bad. But it's an actual print. I recently bought it.
That's so cool.
Okay, that's a distraction. Amen.
Maybe we should say the first photograph of the River Jordan.
Oh, yes.
Right. As it's waiting to start, we can look through. So I've made a couple other weird water ones. This is 1960s French film Dolphin Story.
Oh, I like that one.
Wow. It's like big Free Willy vibes.
Yeah. Yeah, this moment here. I don't know.
Yeah.
I really like the lower right.
You like the lower? It's like a film noir. It's kind of
Yeah.
like
Yeah, I like that.
it's like
an
Contempt.
Italian
But with-
movie poster from 1976.
It's Godard's Lost Dolphin epic with Richard Bardot. Yeah. Yeah. Then this one was a fashion show, 1050s. I think I meant 1950s runway during a flood.
Oh, I like that.
Ooh,
Whoa. Actually, that's a cool runway idea.
that's-
Sorry.
yeah.
Don't show that
Maybe it's
to,
something that's done.
they'll steal that next week.
No,
Yeah.
it's actually been
Yeah.
done. It's been done.
Yeah,
Sure.
I'm sure.
Yeah, how could it not be?
How could it not be? I mean, Zoolander, right? You know.
Right.
This one is a documentary of the rising water levels and all of the national parks we lost to floods. So that's kind of
Tragic,
very.
but also beautiful.
Wow.
Ralphas Ning Tang. I love how it does the text so poorly.
Yeah, and hands. I mean, hands and text. Like I like how it's rainfalls Ning Tang,
Yeah.
Tang. But it got like the raw fall. It almost got rain. Rainfalls. It's like
Yeah.
so close to that. But yeah, they got all these different styles. I love how they know how documentary film posters look. Right? They're like some images, some illustrations. You know, like that was interesting. This one is a web live stream about plants, animals, and insects that are extinct.
Is this like a made-up language?
Yes.
Yeah, it just doesn't know how to do the text. It just
Yeah.
copies it, being like, oh, there's text here.
Mm.
But it doesn't know how to speak. So
Yeah, it's just like, and then at the bottom it'll say those little sticks and things and words. Yeah. And then this one was I used a photo of myself and then said underwater 1970s editorial fashion photography.
wow.
I was gonna say
Damn.
you looked like you.
Nice.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's
So
from
that's
an image of me, so it's
Yeah.
like they
That's
make me
cool.
really light skinned, but like I'm kind of light. I'm not very tan right now. But yeah, I like this one where it's like two.
Mhm.
I don't know
It's like-
why that.
A poster for your new series on Netflix.
Oh yeah,
That's what it looks like.
talk to me about
Yeah.
water. Yeah. Yeah. So that was like, let's see if our one came out. Okay. Here's the first photograph of the River Jordan.
Wow.
Wow. That's actually
The top right one looks pretty accurate, I would, in terms of how, yeah.
mhm.
Looking at the one right in front of me, it's pretty similar.
Whoa, that's amazing.
Yeah.
This one that's like half, and then that's a wild one.
Weird.
It's like half black
Yeah,
and white,
the
half
black and white
color.
one. That is, I've never seen Midjourney do that. It's pretty
Yeah.
cool.
That's cool. You know, what's interesting is that they're all more like streams, which the River Jordan was not really a stream, except in the last, like since World War One. So I think that's also interesting. I mean, technically, I guess the first picture of it would have it more of a stream than like a full river.
That's really interesting. So it's kind of taking modern, the way it looks modern, and then just like putting old tints on it. Yeah,
Yes. Yeah.
that's interesting.
Yeah.
That's really wild. All right, I see someone created another one. Aerial photography of the River Jordan, lush and flowing, sunny and bright, whales swimming. Whoa.
Like, why not? You know, we can make up whatever we want, right?
Yeah. Look at those back fins on that one whale, though. Oh my goodness.
Oh yeah, they're a little crazy.
That's a little wonky.
It's got to brush up on its anatomy. Whale anatomy.
I was looking at Avatar.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. This one is really interesting. Like it's kind of shaped like a whale, the actual water.
Yeah.
But that's pretty cool. I don't know where the whale is in this one, but wow. That would be very cool if the River Jordan looked like this. Look how deep that would be. Wow. Wow. Anyone else? Any other ones that people made?
I'm doing another one.
Oh, nice.
What's that prompt?
Feel free to do one too, Martha or Nora, or you can also tell me one.
Okay,
And I'll
how do I do it? I was
So you go
trying to
slash imagine and then push tab and then just write words and then push enter.
I think you can do /imagine and space also works.
Oh, it does? Okay, awesome.
Yeah.
I did humans : way of water.
Wow, that's so scary. Oh my god.
Oh god, it's terrifying. What the hell? Jeez.
See what AI thinks of us humans.
Oh my god. Yeah, that's weird.
That's so disturbing, y'all.
That's cursed.
Why are there all these melting faces under the water?
Wow ones.
We're noticing that, like, if you say like really happy and cheery and bright things with water, it'll give you that. But if you don't, it goes pretty like dark and ominous. And I wonder what things are tagged with water that are always like kind of this. I don't know. We don't know. We're probing the collective unconscious of Midjourney right now. We don't really know.
Midjourney's pretty moody. I kind of feel like
Yeah.
it's like with music, like a major key. I mean, it sounds happy and nice, but it doesn't sound as like rich and thick maybe as like a minor key or whatever. So maybe it just like leans dark because it thinks people want that,
Yeah. I was trying to do a dark ominous chord. That wasn't very dark. Yeah. I mean, this one's very cinematic, like movie poster for sure. So it got that like, okay, Way of Water is a film poster, like for sure. Got that one really well.
Yeah.
Martha, do you want to try one? I can type
I
it for you.
was trying one, but I don't know if it went through. It made me like accept some terms and then
I can just do one for you. Let's see.
I was just trying to do a world made of rivers. What does I think that would look like?
All right. See it. I got to do this on the first day of my AI and art class, and I was so happy that only 3 out of the 45 students that were there in person had ever done Midjourney. So I was like, yes.
Oh, that's
It's so fun. So fun. But yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, I'm
It
out
takes
here
a
just
little while.
assuming everybody knows how to do all this AI stuff now, which it's just like I don't even know what to call it, confirmation bias or something. I'm just like, because I'm fucking around with this shit all the time, I feel like everybody is.
Yeah, I mean, it feels like that, and especially because there are people that are doing it at such speed, breakneck speeds that it's
I know.
like,
I feel behind all the time.
I feel
so,
behind
like,
all the time.
everybody
and I'm
must
like,
know way more
everyone
than I
must.
do.
Totally,
Yeah.
totally. This is a world made of rivers, Martha.
That one's really
Like it.
nice.
I'm digging this actually.
I want to hang out there. Yeah.
I know.
Although this one looks like it's like Niagara Falls or something.
I know to say I would like to like walk the edge of that. I don't know.
Yeah, that bottom right one's like some flat Earth stuff.
Yeah, for sure. Proof.
Proof.
Which one is this one? Water conscious humans.
Ooh.
Whoa. Oh, that face. That's a wow.
It's kind of cool.
That's yeah.
Yeah. I like that.
Mm.
That's cool. Did you do that one, Noor?
Yes, I was curious what it would come up with. The bottom right one, that's the African continent, right?
Yep, that's Africa right there. I was just looking at that.
It's interesting that everyone looks non-white.
Yeah. White people don't be thinking about water.
Yeah, AI knows it.
I think we've proven it. Yeah.
So, like, AI is such a reflection of ourselves. It's like uncomfy. I like it.
Yeah.
It is really uncomfortable. I mean, because it's like, it's looking at just so many images from the web, and
yeah,
it's really has a lot of odd. All right.
Yeah.
What are some of your hacks that you use, Devin, to get good imagery? I saw you did like what was one of them? You said
I wish I had more. I know there's some websites
Like award-winning photography, beautiful
award-winning
lighting.
photography. Back in early Stable Diffusion versions, it was like if you specified like rendered in Unreal Engine or rendered in Cinema 4D or rendered in Redshift, it would give you like other cool sort of flavors. But those are just like really surface level tricks. There's so many actually, especially for Stable Diffusion, like using brackets to emphasize certain words and then using negative prompts. There's like a lot of crazy stuff you can do. Trending on ArtStation is like a big one, I think, for Mid-Journey. So if you do, but people don't like that now because ArtStation artists are like really mad, understandably so, because all their art is getting stolen. But yeah, that's one. Let me see. I might be able to
I
find
started using
like a
tags
cool
from like
list.
Getty Images, you know, like
yeah,
the things
that's
I would
smart.
search, like all the main search tags from Getty Images, like editorial was usually something that could be a front page image. So then that would like kind of, or I don't know, different ones I did with street photography, 1980s, and then such and such location would give me, you know, certain things that I could just imagine were like cool photographic genres. But I don't know, I'm trying to find all the cool hacks, but hopefully my students will find more and tell me about them.
There's also services like there's this one called Lexica, I think, and you can like reverse interrogate images. So you can give it an image and then it will like generate a prompt based on the image that you give it. Like it'll tell you what it finds in that image, which is a pretty cool way to like get similar results to an already existing image. But
Oh, that's cool.
yeah, and it's built into Stable Diffusion too. I'm looking for like Mid-Journey prompt hacks, but you know.
Well, people can definitely tell us their hacks as
Yeah.
well. But
Yeah.
like, yeah, that's really cool. Well, keep them coming. Keep putting them in the
Cool.
in our Discord, and we can vibe on them. I also wanted to bring up GPT chat. Again, not everyone might have played with that before, so let me go ahead and
Oh,
share.
we should totally do that right now.
Yeah.
I have not
So let me
played with it
grab.
yet, but I have heard a lot about it. So
Well, then Martha should get to be the first person to do
Oh,
it. don't you think?
definitely.
Oops. Is it showing up? Yeah, it is showing up. Okay. What would you like to type in there, Martha? I mean, you can also do it yourself and share it, but I just
I
figured.
don't even know what do you even do with this one?
Yeah, ask it stuff.
Ask it stuff. What would you like? Maybe you can decide whatever you want to cast.
Can I
the
tell it to
role of
talk to me
GPT.
about water?
Yeah, let's do.
Let's do that.
Yes.
Should we say like a command or just talk to me about what?
That is the command. Talk to me about water.
Water is a transparent, odorless, tasteless liquid that is essential for all forms of life. It is made of 2 hydrogen atoms and 1 oxygen atom, H2O. Water covers about 71% of the Earth's surface and is found in oceans, rivers, lakes, and groundwater. It is also present in the atmosphere in the form of water vapor. Water is a vital resource for agriculture, industry, and households. It is also used for recreation and as a means of transportation. The properties of water, such as its high heat capacity and ability to dissolve many substances, make it a unique and versatile substance. All right, there you go, Martha. Talk to you about water.
Thank you. Thank you. I feel like that was a really good summary of water. Thank you.
Yeah, totally.
It was pretty good.
It was good. It was like better than a Wikipedia. It was much more concise.
Much more concise. What are some other things you ask it, Eamon?
We should have long ass conversations, man.
Yeah. Do you ask anything? Because what I often do is I say something that when we were looking at that synesthesia app earlier, or synesthesia, I don't know how to pronounce it, where it generates those avatars. Something you could do is I started typing in the thing I was saying. Excuse me, my voice. Like I was saying stuff about, I was trying to make a website for us about these streams here. Actually, I can post the link here. So what I did is I started. Oh, all right. I started this website, and I started doing the text, and then I was putting it into the avatar so the avatar would speak it. And then it had this button where it said, would you like me to continue on with AI Assist? And it finished my entire text with AI within that synesthesia program. So you actually don't even have to write the things that the avatars say. It does it automatically, which was kind of wild. So everything that's produced on this link of our streaming page is all done with AI. Even the text.
So we don't have to do anything anymore. Huh?
So that's something that I noticed you could do that with the chatting as well. You could say,
apparently ChatGPT is at capacity.
oh, is it? Yeah.
It's always at capacity.
So I've said, please write 300 words about why water is important. Let's see. Is that looks like a little, well, it's about 300 words.
Eamon, I'm curious, as a writer, how do you feel?
I'm not sure. I mean, like I said earlier, like I'm totally shook because so much writing that I've been paid to do has not needed to be any more thoughtful or higher quality than what you're seeing on the screen right now, right? Like,
Right. Yeah.
This tool completely obviates the need for any content marketing to ever happen by a human ever again, which is good because content marketing is a dog shit job to have, but like it is how I paid my rent in my 20s. So yeah, like writing is kind of has been for the last like 20 years or even longer, like under siege from a lot of different areas, but this may be the death knell of like the freelance writer, possibly. We'll see.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously it can't report new information, so that's one thing that we can do, but I can also imagine a version of this that updates in real time somehow. I don't think that's like a super huge technical hurdle.
Oh, I don't think that's far off.
Yeah, so like if Twitter continues to exist or something like it where people share information, all that is left would be like there's some editorial guidance that a human would have to do, but that doesn't require a whole newsroom, that doesn't require any writers even. It's just an editor. That's it. So yeah. I'm shocked.
I've written for tech companies that already had similar software that was baked in, but for SEO optimization. So you'd be writing and it would be shifting what you're writing automatically to something that has higher SEO optimization.
Yeah.
So you're already kind of like co-writing with an algorithm that had a specific point or whatever. So I can imagine this, it wouldn't even need me to do the prompts now. It could just do them for me. But sometimes it was unreadable, like the SEO optimized text. It wasn't readable to a human. Sometimes that matters. Sometimes it doesn't.
I mean, thank God it's wrong like pretty often, but also it's been out for like a month, so it would be crazy if it wasn't. But I don't know. We'll see.
What if we try something more like less informational, more like creative? Like tell me a story about water.
That's a good one.
It's short because I don't know how long it would go.
Yeah.
It's taking a minute.
If you ask it to write you a poem or a song and say, write me an unrhymed poem, it basically can't do it.
Oh, interesting.
Like, it can't help itself but rhyme. Like it has to rhyme.
It has to rhyme.
If you use the word poem, I think it has to rhyme.
Yeah, I didn't know what that means. Without rhyming.
Like that's what a poem is a rhyming.
A poem is like a block of text that has weird lengths. It can do meter really well. Like if you're like, write me, a poem in dactylic hexameter, it can do that no problem.
It's taking a while.
I think it's at capacity.
This made me just think about like school. Like, how is this going to change school? Like, I mean, you just said that, like, write me a poem in whatever. Like, I mean, why would anyone ever in high school like write anything ever again?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that some of my students used it last semester. I'm like pretty pretty sure.
Yeah, it's already a problem. I mean, I think New York State or somewhere just banned it, but good luck with that. So, like, oh, you
Keep
can't
banning
use
it.
this. Yeah.
And yeah, there's like tools. Like I get emails sometimes from salespeople at SaaS companies be like, we have this new tool that helps detect if the student work is AI generated, but every time they make one of those, there's going to be a new AI thing that they can't, it's like, as a teacher, I don't want to play cat and mouse like that my whole life.
No, I mean, at this point, it's like if kids want to learn, they're going to learn. If they don't, maybe they won't have to. And it's kind of like a personal responsibility thing, or like parenting and, your community, I guess, instilling values. Because outside of that, we got tools to just subvert all those things. So,
In my teaching days, Turnitin was a huge help because I wonder if Turnitin can pick up on whether students are using these kinds
I
of
think it
platforms.
can just do plagiarism. It's just searching the web for other instances of that same text, right? And
Right.
with AI, I mean, that's the problem is I can imagine if you start trying to say anything that could be generated, students could also generate sentences that are similar to AI, right? I read an article by an English teacher from high school who said this, and I should probably find the link and like share it after the stream. But the teacher said something to the effect of, usually with my students, I spend most of the year getting them to use all the proper grammar. And then the really ones that really excel get to have ideas around arguments and opinions. And then the really advanced students, which is only about 5%, end up having to think about style and, really kind of playing around with their own voice. And so they said if AI could get everyone to the highest percentile of just thinking about style and just thinking about tone and thinking about your own voice, that would be really cool. Or thinking about opinions or arguments rather than just the basics of grammar, that could be really cool. But of course, it does widen this gap of people who have access, because GPT chat is free now, but we all know
right.
that's not going to be for long. So, but I don't know. With my students, I try to get them, if they want to turn in AI art instead of hand-drawn illustration or 3D art, to just explain to me why it's good. And that's usually pretty hard. So I say, like, it's totally fine. You can use generate image, but that image will require 2 paragraphs. Could even be AI generated as well, but it has to prove that that image is good. So the the generated text either has to be compelling, or you have to have your own words that say why it's a good image, because I think they have to be able to analyze the image, right?
Right.
Totally.
Right.
So
I was going to say, like, if these tools are going to be what we're using in the future, then maybe it's not bad that the kids are learning how to use them, because they're going to be using them.
Well, it's like spell check, right?
Of it, right? Like spell check. Like, okay, you can like auto generate your essay, but you have to like read it and make sure it makes sense and sounds good. Like, if I can tell that it was an AI, you got to write it yourself.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of things don't require that much critical thinking, and then there's things that require like an immense amount of critical thinking. And so I don't know if this is going to lessen the gap between those things or like make it much bigger and like not equip people to have the tools to think critically or write creatively. I don't know. I have no idea at this point, honestly. I think about it a lot and I still have no idea.
And Anise chimes in from the Discord, and perhaps the best new skill for students is to learn to collaborate with AI rather than generate individually. Yeah, I remember we would do spelling tests as kids, and then we were told, hey, the rest of your life you're not going to be able to spell check, which turned out to not. I can spell check on my phone, I can spell check on my Apple Watch. So that turned out to be kind of like, but then knowing when it's misspelled is a skill that we have, right? Like we can tell if something got through. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see how we collaborate with these machines. What about when it comes to science storytelling? Like I've noticed just from my chats with GPT chat that it does skew to a certain input. It's really good at, like Martha said, having the summary of the Wikipedia article. When I tried to talk to it about native things, like what is it to be native, or what do you think of native things, it was like all humans are native, and this is why. And it used a lot of really good language that I bet came from good interviews from native activists, but it kind of at the end would summarize it in this direction that was actually like something I totally didn't agree with. Like it started going and I'm like, yeah, oh wait, where where is this going? So it's interesting to see its opinion pieces, right? Let me see. I don't know if it's it did our story. It took a while.
Oh.
Okay, let's go back to all right, here's our story. Once upon a time, there was a small village nestled in the foothills of a mountain range. The villagers had always relied on a nearby stream for their water supply. But one year, the stream ran dry. The villagers were in a state of panic as they had no way to obtain water for drinking, cooking, and irrigation. They knew they had to find a new source of water quickly before the dry season set in. A young girl named Lily, who loved to explore the mountains, decided to take it upon herself to find a new source of water for the village. She set out early one morning, determined to find a solution. She climbed the mountain, traversing rocky terrain and navigating dense forests. Just when she had almost given up hope, she stumbled upon a hidden cave deep in the mountain. Inside, she found a small but steady stream flowing out of the cave wall. Lily knew that this was the solution the village needed. She quickly made her way back down the mountain and shared her discovery with the village elders. The villagers were overjoyed and thanked Lily for her determination and hard work. They set out to the cave, and soon a water pipeline was built to bring the water from the cave to the village, ensuring that the village would never run out of water again. From then on, the villagers had an ample supply of clean and fresh water.
The
They were
solution is
able to
building a
grow
pipeline.
Yeah.
Oh
yeah,
God.
really like
That's
not in
dystopian.
any way magical at all. They're like, oh, she just went into a cave and found water.
Yeah, and then they just got the mega conglomerate to build a pipeline from the cave wall. Ugh.
But interesting that the story about water was that there was a crisis about it. And that
It's
there wasn't.
almost as if it knows.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Ugh.
It could have been like they live in an underworld water world thing. Could have been about mermaids, but no.
I mean, it can always be about mermaids, Martha. You're not wrong. But yeah, it was an incredibly dull story.
Yeah, I mean, it ends with the moral of the story is that one person's determination and hard work can make a big difference in the lives of many, and that access to clean water is crucial for survival and well-being.
Yeah.
That's
so many mixed metaphors right there.
Right?
It's like
Yeah.
one person can solve the problems of many. Like, really weird.
Let's
That's
build more
interesting.
pipelines.
More pipelines. Any other? Well, it took a long time to write us that story, but it did
Yeah.
deliver. Any other thoughts on any other questions you'd like to ask the GPT chat? Yeah. So see what I mean? How it kind of like it seems like it's and then you're like, huh. I actually don't jive with its values, but then its values aren't even consistent. So it's kind of like,
Yeah. We could ask it to generate some Midjourney prompts too.
Oh,
I like that.
can I spell it
AI
right?
creating AI.
Is it one word or two?
I
One
think
word.
it's
Okay.
one.
Let's
I
try.
don't know.
Let's try.
Oh, I think it missed it. Or does it want us to put all of this as a prompt?
I have no idea.
We should just put it in. Let's just see what
Yeah, I
happens.
mean, obviously. Yeah, obviously.
And I've also heard that the more words you put in for Midjourney, the better right now.
The better, yeah.
Oh, really? Okay. All right, now let's stop sharing this one and start sharing your other one.
Okay, so for the Midjourney, does it have to be like you're kind of like telling it, you know, what type of image to create, or can you just like be like random words?
You can totally say random words.
Yeah, it could be either.
And you can seed it with an image. Like if you have a link to an image, you could put the image in there. And then like Devin said, you can have negative prompts too. I haven't done negative prompts yet, so that's like something I have yet to try. Whoa. Okay, let's see this one.
Okay.
Okay, that's a very illustration style that I didn't expect. So the prompt is, as you journey deeper into the desert, the heat becomes almost unbearable. Your water supply is running low and you can't help but worry about you will find more. How you will find more. Suddenly you come across an oasis, a small pool of crystal clear water surrounded by lush greenery. You drop your pack and rush to the water, cupping your hands to drink deeply. But as you take your first sip, you realize that something is not right. The water has a strange smell and is metallic taste. Do you drink it despite your doubts, or do you search for a different source of water?
Game of choose your own adventure.
AI is talking to AIs, man. It's becoming a recursion of weirdness. Okay. That's weird, that style. I guess it's like a photo style. And then these three all kind of have that same deserty illustration vibe. Okay. All right. Very, very good.
Maybe we could ask. I still can't get into ChatGPT, but maybe we could ask like to visually describe an alien water world type thing.
All right.
That might give us like more visual description instead of like a choose your own adventure type thing.
Right. And then use that as the prompt.
Yeah.
An alien water will be a planet covered in vast oceans with no visible land masses. The water would be a vibrant and deep blue with a high concentration of dissolved minerals and nutrient, giving it slightly cloudy appearance. The surface would be constantly rippled by the movement of water, which towering waves reaching up of hundreds of feet high. The skies would be cloudy, consistent storms and light. Oh my gosh, this is going on forever.
Wow.
Oh, the ocean floor would have a diverse, rugged terrain. Okay. Keep it going.
Okay.
Overall, an alien water world. I like how the ending is.
Yeah.
An alien water world would be a place of
In
breathtaking
summary.
beauty and mystery with a unique and diverse ecosystem unlike anything found on Earth. And we'll thank you.
Oh, we're gonna go with the whole thing.
The whole thing. I was thinking, just do
Don't
the
you
Do the
think?
first paragraph too.
Oh, just the first paragraph?
last
Okay.
line.
Or the
Overall.
I don't know.
All right. You know what? We're going to have to do it all then. If we're
Let's
saying
try it,
first and
yeah.
last, you know, it's like, kind of like
I wonder if there's a word limit.
no clue.
I guess we'll find out.
I don't think so. Well, I mean, I'm sure there is. Look, positive there is
Oh, well, yeah.
word limit, but it might be like, who knows? It might be
Yeah.
pages. All right. Well, okay. Here it goes.
I'm curious of asking both platforms what the future of water on Earth is, or I don't know if there's a more specific question.
Yeah.
It's going
I
to
like
be
that.
so doomy.
You think? Yeah, maybe.
Wow. Those are
Ooh.
pretty cool.
Mhm.
I'd hang out there.
No.
Yeah, is that mountain like in the world or in front of the world?
Yes.
Confusing.
Yes.
The answer is yes.
Very confusing.
World.
Interesting.
So do you want to ask the GPT chat first, Noor, and then put that into Midjourney, or you want to ask each of them separately, side by side?
Maybe let's ask GPT. I'm curious what it'll come up with.
All right. So what was the question again?
What is the future of water on Earth?
The future of water on Earth is uncertain and is closely tied to the impact of human activities and climate change. One of the major challenges facing the future of water on Earth is increasing water scarcity. As the global population continues to grow and climate change leads to changes in precipitation patterns, many regions are likely to experience increased water scarcity. This could lead to conflicts over water resources and have significant impacts on agriculture, industry, and human health. Another major challenge is the degradation of water quality. As human activity continues to pollute and degrade water sources, it will become increasingly difficult to access clean and safe water. This could have serious consequences for human health and the environment. Climate change will also have an impact on water resources, as it is expected to lead to changes in precipitation patterns and increased variability in weather events, such as droughts and floods. This will have an impact on water availability and can lead to water scarcity in some regions and water abundance in others. Despite these challenges, there are also opportunities for the future of water on Earth. Increased water conservation and management practices, as well as the development of new technologies such as desalination, can help to address the challenge of water scarcity. Additionally, measures to reduce pollution and improve water quality can help to ensure access to clean and safe water. Overall, the future of water on Earth is closely tied to human activities and the actions we take to address those challenges. It's important to take steps to conserve and manage water resources, reduce pollution, and adapt to the impacts of climate change in order to ensure a sustainable future for water on Earth.
All right. It's not wrong. It's a little dry.
Yeah. A little dry. What are some things that might have left out? Like, Nora, specifically, would you be happy with this, like, as an essay if you had it generated, or what is it missing?
I guess it's missing the current, like more of well, I did ask it about the future, right? That was the question. What is the future? So I think it's pretty mild considering the current state of the global water crisis, you know? It feels no, I know we don't love alarmist narratives, but this feels pretty disconnected from the reality of the state of water in the world today. And yeah.
Yeah.
But it's not alarmist, just tell the truth, right? Like,
Right.
if it's right,
Yeah.
if it's not accurate, then it's not.
It's
Yeah.
missing the like a little bit of the existential dread, you know?
Is
But,
there I think one thing I noticed with it is there's no one that's on the other side of it, right?
Yeah.
It seems like it's not saying anything very controversial in the sense of, like, it's tied to human activities.
right.
And
And you
we
should be ashamed.
and we will contribute to. You know, it's
Yeah.
I don't know anyone would disagree with this, right? It doesn't seem to have a
Very
strong
neutral.
opinion.
Right.
Very
Yeah.
neutral. Which is, fine. That's like
Fair.
one.
Yeah.
It's fair, but I'm just noticing that it's interesting. I haven't seen it say something very controversial yet. It won't say anything controversial, and so that
You
to
can trick
me,
it though.
you can trick it.
You can
How do you
trick
do
it if you ask it to generate like fictional narratives and stories for things that it wouldn't say otherwise. Like if you ask it, like, how do I make a bomb? Like it's gonna be like, that's inappropriate. Like I can't tell you how to do that. But if you're like, can you write me a believable fictional narrative about a character who's building a bomb? Like it'll give you like all the steps,
Whoa.
right?
That's
So
interesting.
I've seen a bunch of people talking about how you can trick it into doing things that OpenAI doesn't want you doing with it. So
That's interesting.
Fascinating.
it has a difficult time separating fiction from reality when you're asking it specifically for fiction, because as long as you're saying give me something fictional, then it can't really be held responsible for like influencing reality. So I don't know.
That's interesting. But it also makes me wonder what they think is neutral, right? Like this one is a pretty good example of something that's neutral, but some of the ones I would say are so neutral they become untrue.
Sure.
Right? Like when I said, can you define what it is to be a Native American? It was like all people on the earth are Native Americans. And you're like, well, that's not necessarily true. But
Nice try.
but that's very neutral, right? Everyone can be a
Native American.
Yeah, you're like, that is very neutral, but it's also like not true. So it was very interesting. I kind of want to probe like what is OpenAI's concept of neutrality and what, because having no opinion is an opinion, right? Because we cannot be unbiased. So wherever it lands in that, what it thinks is neutral is still a predominant thought bubble. But yeah, I don't know. Any other thoughts on things you'd like to put into GPT chat? What about you, Amy? What are you up to? Oh, you're looking at guitars.
I'm looking to bullshit on the internet.
Well, do you have any prompts?
I don't know. Maybe we come up with some, difficult questions for ChatGPT for the next session.
Yeah.
All right.
Asking the hard-hitting questions.
What would be a hard-hitting question?
I don't know.
We also don't have to keep doing it. We can talk about other things too. Just kind of like vibing with these weird generative things. Martha is a water data publication expert, not speaking obviously on behalf of the USGS, but just as someone who like looks at quality and everything. What do you think of this is kind of your first experience with these things. So I want to ask you, what do you think?
I think it's very interesting, like this question is coming from a personal standpoint of like, I'm not good at words and I'm not good at writing. Like, this is amazing, like, wow, I don't ever have to like write anything again. Can it write all my emails for me too? Like, that's great. But then, yeah, I guess when you're talking about quality control, like how, and I guess with data too, like if you're going to start using AI to generate data, collect data, different things, like how do you, again, as we were talking about like students using AI, like are there ways to prevent making sure we're having real data? Can we have fake things being made? I don't know. Like it's an interesting idea of like, how do we, maybe from that like data side, understand if things are like real and fake. Is that even a thing? I don't know.
That is essentially how GANs work, is their generative adversarial networks, is they generate something that's fake, and then they have a discriminator. They have a generator and a discriminator, and it generates information that hopefully the discriminator can tell is a fake. So here's a real image, and the generator is like real, and here's a fake image, and the generator is like, that's a fake one, but it tries to make closer and closer and closer good fakes so that the discriminator becomes better and better and better. And that's kind of how we accidentally created deep fakes, is because we were like trying to make a really good image recognition algorithm, and then instead we realized, oh, actually we were really able to make this incredible deep fakes, right? So it's kind of baked in the early renaissance of this specific period we're in, like for the last few years anyways. It's been like a lot of innovation in GANs, which is exactly what it was, to create fake data, right?
Right.
Then hopefully to create a certain discriminator that can tell.
Right.
That was
we have just like, how do you do those things fast enough? And working for the government, I work at a place that's very slow. So, we are watching this technology like happen so quickly. So that's interesting. And then also, I guess on like a publication side, I also do a lot of publication that's just talking about data, and so there's all this documentation about things. And I think of this, like, if you could auto-generate that, would that be good or not? How accurate would it be?
Yeah, because I mean, it works in sort of creative ways or in essay writing ways. But if you were to say, please write a detailed way in which you can onboard this person to use this API or whatever, like,
Right.
I don't know if I trust them to do that yet, or maybe that will be something it'll excel in, right?
Right.
Because it's a closed system. Like, learn this and then write the documentation. That would be amazing. But then that,
right. But then it's like,
I've also had that job before, so like, I don't know, replacing it. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so many questions. Like, what is the student's style? Getting back to the whole, levels of writing, and then whatever, you got the grammatical and the semantic and whatever, and then you have style at the top. It's like, are people going to have style anymore? Like, look 50 years down the line, after we've had this for like generations, like, is that just going to be the style? Like, whatever it comes out with is the style of human language? I don't know.
Right.
Or because then eventually it's only pulling its own information, right? Like, if everything is auto-generated and all the text out there is, then it's only pulling from its own self.
Right. As more information on the internet becomes generated by it or things like it, then those are the things that it's going to be trained on in the future, as they need more data to keep like updating their models. So yeah, that just seems like a scary feedback loop. I don't want to get into.
Yeah, like just a smaller and smaller and smaller world.
Yeah, where we just know what it knows, and
And
those boundaries become more defined over time.
Well, if it was in the Arabic language or in Greek or in, any other language, I think the answers would be very different too, because,
Totally.
um, the pool of information that is digitized in the Arabic language is much, much, much smaller than it
Sure.
is in English, for example. So I think it's also interesting to think how much more it would alienate a big part of the world, right? Like the so-called digital divide, I think would even get much
Yeah.
bigger. Right?
I mean, and coding is already only in English characters, right? Like in order to code, you can't code in Arabic, you can't code in Chinese. I mean, there are programs that you can do that will compile it, but that causes a lot of problems, and so most people do just code it with English characters because of that kind of translation problem that can happen. But I think things are getting better. People are able to code and then compile better, but it ends up just being like that is a truth. You have to have a certain awareness of English keyboard to code.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that's a bias right there.
Yeah. And I mean, they used to. I remember watching that James Bond in like the 90s where someone had a Chinese keyboard and it was like every Chinese character on the keyboard, and I was like, that is hilarious, and no one in China types that way. Like, what are you talking about? So it's like really wild to think that they were like imagining, oh, must be what
Yeah.
the keyboard looks like. You're like, no, it's like everyone just configures keyboards, to work with their language, right? Do you have a different keyboard, Nora? Like when you go to Jordan, do people have different keyboards?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or the letters, the Arabic letters are on like it's the same English keyboard, but then you use the same keyboard for different letters. That makes sense.
Yeah. That's how it is in like Costa Rica too. I mean, not that many letters, but you have like the double L and you have the Enye, and then the
Yes.
configuration is just means it's slightly different where the enter button is or the shift or
Yeah.
the control.
Yeah. Yep. It's actually really concerning. Like I'm seeing this more and more in my WhatsApp groups that have Arabic speakers where they use English letters to type in Arabic. And then we use certain numbers like the letter ha, which obviously doesn't exist in the English language. We use number 7 because it looks like the calligraphy of the letter ha. And we have those for all the other letters that phonetically don't have letters in the English language. So they're just replaced with numbers. So sometimes if you see me typing, it'll be like numbers and letters. But I'm trying to not do that as much and switch to using the Arabic keyboard because I don't, I think that contributes to the erasure of the calligraphy and it's really beautiful. So,
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Just makes me think like Arabic leet speak, like you know what I mean, like gamers typing with numbers instead of letters.
Yeah. That's awesome.
It's really funny.
I had another guest on Wampum.codes that did a language called Cree++ instead of C++, and he built the keyboard to be round so that it would be much more like entering like a hogan or an area, and then the space that would come from the north would be where they entered. So he ended up turning the whole keyboard sort of upside down so that it would be sort of the shape of ceremony, and then each of the letters were different letters that are in Cree language. It was really amazing. So he built a Cree language, programming language, but then was like, oh, I need a different keyboard to actually be able to do it. He made this round one. It was really cool.
That's super cool.
Yeah, I'll let you know when that episode's out. So that'll come out in a couple more weeks. But yeah, there's lots. It's really important the way we interface with these machines, right? But we're all kind of standardizing on these English keyboards, but that's an assumption that doesn't need to exist. I mean, the typewriter itself was made so that people would type slower, right? Because a lot of the women in World War II were typing so fast that they were like, okay, like we need to make this QWERTY system so it'll slow them down because they were jamming, because they were typing so fast that all the like tappers were jamming. So they're like, let's slow them down. So we'll make it more complicated. So we have the QWERTY board to like make them slower.
Wow.
But it didn't work because of course humans are really able to just reconfigure so quickly. I mean, if you give me a new keyboard, I know how to use it right away. Even if it isn't QWERTY anymore, I might not be able to on-site type, but I could still type really fast because humans are just really good at learning new tools, right? So yeah, we could absolutely have a totally different type of keyboard for Arabic that made more sense, that had maybe not the massive one from the James Bond with like that. I still love that image to this day. Like I wish that was a real keyboard.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, I wonder what keyboards would really look like, or programming languages.
Mm.
He had all these different ways of talking about what a for loop is, that would be more like a stream or something. You know, he kind of took the epistemology of what he thought about Cree language and Cree custom and ceremony, and then thought, okay, how would that be part of the coding language? So you could write your own notion of what a for loop is, or an if and, or all those kind of like basics of coding languages. So
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's like super important work, honestly, because we do these things based on assumptions that like somebody just had an idea and was like, oh yeah, let's try that, and then it sticks somehow, not because it's the best or anything, just because like that's what happened first, or what became most popular first. Like the staggering on the normal keyboard, like I grew up thinking, oh, it must be staggered because it like works better with our hands or something, or like it's more ergonomic or something. Turns out no, it's actually just totally like a random staggering, and doesn't have anything to do with like how the hands work. And actually, like a keyboard laid out just as a rectangle with all the buttons in line is actually more ergonomical than this staggered thing that we have now. So, you know, it's just people making shit up and like running with it. And then everybody's like relegated to like, oh, I guess I'm going to use this for the rest of my life in every activity that I do. So, you know,
for hours
like,
and hours and hours a day,
yeah,
right? Yeah.
years of my life, I'm just using this thing that somebody was like, oh, let's try it.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely. And they had to be on those like staggered because of those those things that were like pushing onto the paper.
yeah, exactly. It's just
They
like
weren't like going like this, you know?
typewriter, right? That has
And
nothing
it
to
used
do
to
with
be
now.
like you'd physically push it and it was a lever. So it'd be like, you know, did anyone use one of those old typewriters, right? So
I
it's
mean,
actually
once or
like
twice for
a lever that would like you push it down and it's like flipping the whack thing that would say like A. And so you'd have to really push it down so that it would go whack onto the paper. And that's why they were like this staggering, right? Like you're saying, because if you had them, you could type two letters too fast and they would like hit each other and get stuck. It was really hard to like pull them apart, you know? And it would tear the ribbon up and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, this is all such, I mean, it's such an old technology that like Martha has never used one of those.
Right.
I used an old one.
Well, no, I mean, I know you used an electric one, but my point is like that's how old of a technology that we're spending like 8 hours a day on.
Yeah.
And we can, I know that's funny. We can like hop on the newest social media. We can hop on the newest AI thing, generate all this stuff, but we're like, ooh, change a keyboard. I don't know.
I mean, people are doing it, but you know, it's just weird how these things permeate, you know, society and culture and norms and whatever. And yeah, still everybody thinks that for some reason our computer keyboards are laid out like a typewriter because it's good for us.
Right. Absolutely. Well, and I think that's an important thing to keep in mind, right? For all of us as we're using these tools, to not take anything as a given, because we're in the early stages of defining how these things are used, what they're used for, why we're using them. We don't have to just accept that like, oh yeah, it's normal that you now do your essays without, you're like, no, we could have an opinion. We could have a anti-opinion. I had one student, I asked all my students, is anyone have anything they don't think AI should do? And she was like, right away, I raised her hand. I was like, what? And she said, art. It should never make art. And I was like, oh, okay. That's kind of what this whole class is about. But I appreciate that you're here. I appreciate that you're here and saying this, because that is always on the table.
Yeah,
that is always on the table.
We need like, dissenters.
Yep. And as we teach you how to make art with AI, it should always be on the table, should we? And I think that's a great place. And we'll always refer back to you and say, and yet we shouldn't be doing this according to some people. And that's totally valid. Like normalizing dissent for right now in the beginning is a really good thing to do. So yeah, absolutely. And she's like, I don't think you should make art because I think people should. And I'm like, absolutely, let's not outsource things we like to do to machines. They can do the things we don't like to do, you know. So fair enough. But yeah. And we'll see. Like you said, Martha, we can jump on the newest social media or we can jump on the newest AI. And yet there's also things that we that no one jumps on, right? Some of these fads kind of fade away. They seem like they're going to be totally normal, and yet something else happens. That's happened so many times with me and AI. As I'm studying different movements, I think, oh, this thing is going to be the really big thing, and then no one even knows what I'm talking about anymore. So I'm like, huh.
Yeah.
We'll see. Yeah, I didn't think that Dolly and Midjourney were going to be this foundational of a shift in the beginning, because it looked to me like a lot of generative art had been looking for the last few years, but it's changed the access, how easy it is. It's in a Discord server. Like, who knew that would be the moment? Like, that's the thing that blew it up, right? Just
Yeah. It's crazy. I mean, and yeah, Stable Diffusion is like really changed the game so quickly, and now people are iterating, and now that it's open source, people are iterating on it like so quickly. And I mean, like a month ago or something, one of the heads of Stable Diffusion was saying that we're going to be able to generate at like 30 frames a second with Stable Diffusion 2 soon. So that means like video and everything else is going to be generative as well, which, you know, we're not prepared. We're at the very beginning. We're not even in the middle, or like, you know, it's just starting. So buckle up.
Yeah. I mean, it's exciting because I don't know what like good art, writing, critique, cultural artifacts are going to be with these things. I don't.
I have no idea.
I don't know yet. No one knows yet. I was talking to a reporter from Wired the other day about this too, and we were just kind of going, I don't know, we were just generating ourselves ideas about like, why does it look like this? Why does it always look like this? Why are these ugly in this one way that we don't like? Like, what is that about? You know, all the different types of yeah, I don't know. It's kind of interesting to untangle it. So
yeah.
Thank you for bringing all of your deep fake personas with you today,
Oh,
Tim.
of course.
Amazing.
Anytime. Seriously, I had a lot of fun with it. So, any chance I get now, you know.
I feel
I'm gonna need this. I'm gonna have to figure out how to do this.
and I hope you get a voice too, because I would really love the
Yes.
Keanu voice too. Oh man.
Mine? I have
No, the Keanu voice. I'm sure they can do the. I know. I'm sure it's possible, right, to do the
Yeah,
voices at the same time.
I'm working on the voice cloning. The real time voice cloning is not really a thing yet.
Yeah.
Offline, you can do it now,
Yeah.
but it's still pretty labor intensive. I mean, now there's like online services where you can do text to speech for
Yeah.
a bunch of celebrities. I forget what it's called. It's like something duck or something. It's a cyber duck or something. I don't remember.
Yeah. Well, and
yeah,
me and Noor were in the same cohort as Holly, right? Who does a lot of deep fakes with her voice. And so she can sing with herself, kind of like harmonize and vocalize with herself live. But yeah, I think we'll see. Probably not too far away.
we'll see.
Well, thanks everyone for vibing. I know that Noor has to hop off for her next meeting, but thank you everyone for joining our first live stream.
Yeah, this is fun.
Keep doing. I hope you liked it.
Let's do it again. Yeah.
I would love to do this many, many more times with you. This is kind of my new idea for Wappum.code season 2, is we have these kind of hybrid styles where we are doing some, video, and then the audio goes as a podcast. So I hope it's fun for viewers too. I'll show you links. You can see it all on YouTube and Twitch and Twitter and all of that. But thank you both. Thank you everyone so much for joining the Climate Lounge.
Of course.
A vibe shift for your day. I really appreciate each and every one of you. So yeah, absolutely. All right, I'm going to go ahead and end the broadcast, but we'll still be in this room.